Do you need an Apple computer in order to be UI/UX designer or any designer at all? You don't need an Apple computer, but Apple computer is just so much better. I've been a Windows user for when I was 3 years old, and my first operating system was Windows 95. So I know Windows by heart, and I didn't even knew Mac existed. So this was early 2000s, right? And I didn't even know Apple computer existed. Especially in Serbia, it was rarity to have an Apple computer. And it turns out when I discovered what an Apple computer is and how does it work, it's of course similar. Of course it's similar. It has a bunch of similarities. But when you start digging deeper from UI/UX perspective, when you start digging deeper into how interactions work, into have they wasted a bunch of resources on animations that you don't need for start menu, for icons appearing or disappearing, for a bunch of right-click drop-downs happening abruptly or nicely, or when you start digging deeper, it seems like, and of course this is personal and this is my view. It's gonna be a war out there if I say one's better than the other, but to me Apple's much better because of software and hardware integration, much better integration, plus UI/UX designers seem much more mindful because every interaction has its sense. And in Windows, it seems to me, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me like designers are only paid to do better, are only paid because there's Apple and now we have to be better. So please guys, here's a bunch of millions of dollars. Can you make some kind of design system so that it's better and it's like Apple and it's this is what it seems to me. I may be wrong. I probably am wrong, of course, but that's an impression I get, right? Whereas with Apple, everything could be explained and everything makes sense. So for the normal person that doesn't care about design, doesn't care about things, it's still better, it's still easier. There's still features that are much more in tune with what a real life person needs. There's no ads in start menus and docs and stuff. So that was a crazy choice. But with Windows. But the thing is, I just recommend Mac. I just recommend Apple. I actually didn't have a Mac until at the end of high school, I think the period was, but it turns out I fell in love with it, and I bought an iPhone and then had it for a few years and then switched back to Android and then it was horrible. And then, 2 months after that, I had to switch back to iPhone. I just wanted to give it another shot, another chance. And it turns out I'm probably the biggest Apple sheep here, and I'm probably going to remain with Apple for quite a long time, because they just get me. They just get me. And this is what I'm suggesting. So I'm suggesting an Apple computer. If you don't have a budget for the new Mac, you can buy a secondhand one. There's great options out there for secondhand Macs. So don't even think about buying the new one if you can't afford it. And I've seen a bunch of people actually buying some other brand computers, like no-name computers or something, for thousands or $1,000, $1,500, whereas the Macs, the M1, M2 Macs are actually $700, $900, $1,100. So there's great deals out there, so don't even think about them being too expensive or something. That's not a real deal. It's you can now buy a great Mac computer for quite a deal. So just explore a bit, see what's out there, and I am wholeheartedly recommending the Macs. And you should have one. You should try one. There's a accommodation period of 2 or 3 days while you get how things work. But when it comes to you not being able to work as a designer if you don't have a Mac, that's not true. I mean, Figma's out there, Adobe's out there for both systems, Microsoft Office is out there for both systems. So as long as you're not a hardcore gamer, you're good to go with both systems. And if you're a gamer, PCs may be a bit better choice, but there's even an option now to install Windows on Mac. With Mac, I don't think there's actually downsides to it, but so the conclusion is you don't need to have a Mac in order to work as a UI/UX designer or any kind of designer at all. but I'm wholeheartedly recommending it. If you have a chance, if you didn't try a Mac, try it out. You're gonna see how Apple-y it is, and it is what they say. It's quite a brand. It's quite a brand. So try it out, check it out, and yeah. Regardless of what you have, let's continue with the content and let's see what's coming up. See you in another video. Thanks for watching.